Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Thambrio. Welcome everybody to Final Fantasy XIV. It is currently Maintenance Day, which is why I can't release a Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play video. As much as I would want to, I have to wait until the patch is out and until the maintenance is done. But I'm very excited because patch 3.4 is right around the corner, which means I'll be able to get my very own apartment, and I'll be making a video about it if I do end up securing one. I am pretty sure everybody and their mother is gonna want to buy one, and hopefully I will have a room available for me on my server. With that said, I would like to talk about this new feature that I've self-discovered just as a recent called Palace of the Dead. What is Palace of the Dead? It is a very fun, very Phantasy Star Online-like dungeon crawling experience where you go from floor to floor, all the way from floor 1 to floor 50, level your character from level 1, receive gear and weapons from this Palace of the Dead that only affects stats within Palace of the Dead as you climb all the way to level 50 past multiple enemies and multiple bosses. Palace of the Dead is a very interesting concept because it doesn't start you off at whatever level you're at. Whether you're level 17, which is a requirement for Palace of the Dead, or you max level 60 like I am right now on my Machinist, it will not matter because it will start you off at level 1. In Palace of the Dead, you level very fast, especially if you start taking down enemies. I was able to level from level 1 to level 10 within 10 to 15 minutes of running through floor 1 through 5. Your gear outside of Palace of the Dead doesn't affect your character either. Within Palace of the Dead, you will have your own armor rating and your own weapon rating. Armor rating and weapon rating can be increased by finding silver chests. Silver chests around Palace of the Dead will either give you +1 armor or +1 weapon. The max level of armor and weapon you can get is 30 for both. And if you get 30 and reach level 50, you can turn in your Aether armor and your Aether weapon to get your own Aether weapon out in Final Fantasy XIV with really good stats and an item level of 235, which is very nice if you have a fresh level 60 ready to be armed, like I have the Machinist. I recently finished leveling the Machinist, and since I can use my Bard gear on a Machinist, the only thing I need is a weapon. But if I run through Palace of the Dead, I can give myself a very solid item level 235 weapon, which will allow me to be successful and productive in max level content. Throughout Palace of the Dead, you'll find two different types of chests. Silver chests, which will upgrade your gear, and red chests, which will give you pomades or items that can give you benefits. Pomades can do anything from increase your DPS, increase your defensive ability, increase your healing ability, increase your luck chance on the next floor, increase your luck chance of enemies dropping specific chests, and even reveal hidden traps within the dungeon floor. By the way, there are going to be many traps and eventually you'll run into them. The only way to see where the traps are going to be at is by having the pomade that reveals the traps. Otherwise, just stay on the edge and try not to run in the dead middle. If you do step on a trap, however, it's okay, just make sure to stop, heal with your potion or your healing ability before advancing forward. Palace of the Dead can be run with any combination of group. You can have 4 tanks, you can have 4 healers, you can have 4 DPS. It doesn't matter what combination you have as long as every player is skilled and understands what they have to do in order to accomplish the dungeon. You can technically solo Palace of the Dead, but it's going to be very difficult and it is going to require a lot of skill and a lot of use of your pomades in order to suppress the damage you receive and increase the damage output and healing output while you're trying to survive the very last floors of Palace of the Dead. The primary benefit is getting yourself an item level 235 weapon, which is something I am very much looking forward to. Aside from that, it's a very fun dungeon crawly arcadey sandbox mode that I absolutely love and I would love to see be developed and further grown in Final Fantasy XIV patch 3.4. I believe it has been announced that they'll be adding more content and more floors to Palace of the Dead in patch 3.4, which makes me very excited. Soloing on my own, I got all the way up to level 30. At times, it can be very difficult and you have to make sure you know how to use your class appropriately. At times, you will end up dying, you'll have to reset the dungeon and reset the floor. It's okay, just try again, use whatever pomades you find, use whatever buffs and debuffs you find in order to successfully play your class. Now there are some jobs out there that will do better than others. For example, like Monk will have a lot of high DPS and Bard will have the ability to range and kite enemies, but you can go into Palace of the Dead with any class and still be very successful and get plenty of good loot. In order to unlock Palace of the Dead, I wish I could show you the video, but I cannot access Final Fantasy XIV at the moment, so I can't show exactly where it's at. Simply go to New Gridania, go to the Adventurers Guild, pick up a quest, which will take you to a couple of places, and eventually you end up in Quarry Mill in South Shroud. Afterwards, talk to an NPC to go ahead and lock in your class and start adventuring in Pass of the Dead either in solo, a random group, or your own custom party. Pass of the Dead is great solo and with friends, so if you have friends or you want to queue into a party online, I would highly recommend running through it a couple of times with a group. That's how I personally learned how to play Pass of the Dead, through playing with other people, experiencing the dungeons together, and simply trying out new challenges. If you're looking for a guide on how to progress in Pass of the Dead, I'll leave a couple of guides in the description below if you want to check them out from people like Mr. Happy and other amazing people in the Final Fantasy XIV community that have made such tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, I really hope you enjoyed. My name is Thamriel, like, subscribe, and as always have a great day, and hopefully I'll be back with an apartment showcase video whenever I get my first apartment in Final Fantasy XIV in patch 3.4. Thanks so much for watching, my name is Thamriel, like, subscribe, and as always have a great day, and I'll see you guys all in patch 3.4.